Hey, Dave Martin here with Alaskan Brewing Company, and tonight we're going to do a venison pie with Sitka black-tailed deer and smoked porter. We're going to start things off with some Sitka black-tailed deer ground and mix that up with a combination of flour, salt, pepper, and cumin. Alright, next thing we're going to do here is just brown that mixture of venison. Alright, while the meat is browning, we're going to put a mixture together of smoked porter, wild game stock. In this case, I'm using black bear stock. If you don't have wild game stock, beef stock works just fine. A little barbecue sauce and Worcestershire. Alright, once the meat is completely browned, we're going to add the wild game stock, beer, barbecue sauce, and Worcestershire. And on top of that, we've got onion, carrot, celery, and garlic. And then we'll finish things off with a couple sprigs of thyme. We're going to raise this to a simmer for 10 minutes. Alright, while the meat simmers, we're going to put a little mixture together that we're going to thicken everything with. 2 tablespoons of your wild game stock and 2 tablespoons of flour. Whisk that together until there's no lumps. Alright, it's been 10 minutes now, so we're going to add the flour and black bear stock in to thicken this all up. We're going to let this simmer for another 5 minutes. Okay, we're going to take this off the heat, put it back in this bowl, and let it cool off. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the freezer outside. Alright, we've got the meat in the freezer cooling off. I just set the oven to 350 degrees. Now we're going to start in on the pie. So I put some flour out. I've got some puff pastry here that I'm going to start to just work out a little bit so it can fit in the pie dish. Place that in the pie dish and then cut the excess off. Doesn't need to look pretty, it just needs to taste good. And into the oven at 350 degrees for 5 to 8 minutes or so until it gets nice and a little bit brown. Alright, pie filling goes in. We're going to cover this up with another piece of puff pastry. back in the oven for another 15 minutes. And that's smoked porter venison pie.